and we worked together. I loved him very much because he was very vibrant, fresh from university, full of theories. I think he had even gone through Karl Marx's Das Kapital. And we teamed up very well. But
of Chris, of course, I have not had time to discuss with Chris all the details. When I was saying that Chris killed my 2 children, it's true that UPC killed our 2 children. It is true. UPC, Chris's group. Chris's former group. It is true, they killed they killed many people, including our 2 children, Kamu and Namara. They were not directly from Mom and myself, but they were of our relatives. So it's true that that group there killed a boy called Kamu. There were school children here in Kampala, staying in Nakurebe. They were just killed, 2 of them. One was called Kamu, another one was called Namara. They were killed. So it was true. It was. But when it came to the case of Chris, and this is where I would also want to share testimony. He left out a step in his message which you should put in. And this was, when you are condemned to go where he was, isolation, waiting to be hanged, there is another step which he did not mention. There is a committee called the Prerogative of Mercy Committee. This is a committee of some prominent lawyers who studied the case again and advised the president. In the case of Chris, I think if I remember correctly, for them they had advised that I should hang him. Chibita, do you remember that? Come and tell us, Chibita, Judge. Because Chibita was my legal secretary. What had the Committee of Mercy advised?
Your Excellency, the committee advised that we needed to talk to the families of the victims. And we went to Mbarara and met...
Oh, that's what they advised?
Yeah, that we talk to the families and see what they say. So we went and talked to 3 families. And they said whatever His Excellency decides, but as far as for us we are concerned, we would let the law take its course. And that's what we came and advised Your Excellency.
Mm-hmm. Mm. So, when but I remember, when I got those documents, I don't remember which type, regarding Chris. There was still the old state house here, a small state house here, and I had the small office on the other side. I went there and prayed. And I said, this case of Chris, is it really true that he killed these people and should be hanged, or there could be a mistake? Now somehow, a voice, I don't know what you call it. My Baroque people call it a voice, but it was like a feeling inside me. But I think that's what you call a voice. Told me that it's not correct. Don't sign that instrument, whatever it was, whether it was the death sentence or whatever. So don't sign it. That one I remember very well. In that small office, the old office of the president. So that's when now we had to kick the, because you see for me, I think blending the Christianity and the modern law of punitive, which is also similar to the NRA, which is an eye for an eye, but blending it with the tradition. Because according to our traditions, there must be full accountability. But accountability is not always punitive. It can be reconstructive. In our culture, there are two mistakes. There is shedding of blood, which attracts what we call enzugu. Enzugu is vendetta. According to our tribal laws, if you kill my brother, I am duty bound. There is now enzugu between my clan and your clan. And I am duty bound to revenge. Okora. But the other side can come and negotiate for reconciliation. That is, they call it Okaraba. They can come and we negotiate and we say, instead of revenge, they pay maybe some, they call it Okaraba, bring cows and so on and compensate. And then they perform ceremonies and the matter is finished. That is now a big offense like bloodshed. If it is a small offense, okchumura, like insult, like what Bishop Masinde was saying, our solution is, that is called Okchumra. It is not Enzugu, but it is Okchumra. And the answer for that is not Okarawa, but Okhonga. Okhonga is to pay to compensate for a mistake other than murder, smaller than murder. So therefore, what I did, because to release Chris without the families of the other children, the other ones who died, there were the two children, our own children, and then there were another group of children from the neighborhood there who had been killed by the group, the UPC. We had now called these families in Reichstora. They didn't agree. I don't think they agreed. They agreed, but they said, as Chibita said, if I decide, they would accept. But for them, they wanted the law of Moses. So that's how what I see there. I remember going to that office and praying. How do I handle the issue of Chris? Now, I didn't even know, because later on when I met him, he told me his version, which he told you here, that it was a false evidence. Yes, the UPC was killing people, but not necessarily Chris Rwakasisi as a person. But you can see that in this case, they brought a corporal who reasonably could not, that it was like staged witnesses, not the truth. So, but I think in all this, what I have seen in the last 65 years, when I have been involved for most of the time very actively since 1971, what you should avoid is avoid evil, whatever you are doing. Don't plan evil, don't do evil. And like my young people, the members of parliament, the anger, very angry, because these people cheated us here. Tango Doi cheated me here. This one there. Yes, because between us and the UPC group, we were feeling a lot of unfairness because we had been fighting Amin for 8 years. And then when we come here, UPC wants to exclude us and do it behind the Tanzanians. They thought that with the Tanzanians here would do nothing. Of course, it was a miscalculation. And that's why, so we were very angry with them. Very angry with Moshi. Moshi was a conference where we met and we were cheated. We were given, I had 9,000 fighters in Barara, but we were given only two seats out of, because the groups were out of 56 seats, they gave us 2. For the NRC, the National, for the NCC, National Consultative Council, I didn't even put forward my name. I put because I had only 2 slots, I put forward the name of Elia Kategaya and Christopher, Father Okoth, Christopher Okoth. So we had grievances in Moshi, grievances in, but also UPC had their own grievances because Obote had also been excluded, Obote as a person. So this unfairness is but in spite of all those unfairnesses, don't do any evil. You just keep doing the right thing, because I can see that God really has been on our side, because I don't know why, but I partly think it could be because of that, because we avoid evil. Whether we are angry, whether we are what, we had the power to assassinate people, to kill people, but we never used it. Never used it. Assassinate people, do this, poison. No, we rejected that. Our fight was open fight. And avoiding all dirty ways of fighting. But what I see in the world, some of the people think that all methods are permissible as long as you are fighting. That's not correct. So the witness of Honorable Chris Rwakasisi is a very good witness, because God has kept him alive, has kept me alive, so that we give you these stories. Because if I was here, if I was not here, maybe you will not get this story. And if you was not here, you will not get this story, which we have got today. So therefore, in summary, what, especially you, the politicians, even if they cheat you, if you are doing right things, God will come to your aid at the right time. And you don't have to be bitter. Because even after the elections, we could have negotiated with the UPC. That's why I met Mwanga in Kororo with Peter Otai. And again, I met him here. He had a house here somewhere near Victoria Hotel. He had a house somewhere there. I met him there to this time. And I told him that if you want to avoid trouble, you should talk seriously. But they were not interested. So please, when you are, what Bishop Masindi is telling you, whatever is happening, look for the good things, if they are there, about your country, and talk about those also. Even if you are rejecting some things, but there must be some good things that you can talk about. And if, like in the UPC had agreed that time, we would have talked, we would have found a solution, but they didn't agree. We had also talked with the DP, but the DP also had their own plan to use religion to do what. So this is a very powerful, this is a very powerful testimony from the Chris Rwakasisi, and a very strong message from Bishop Masinde. I'm very happy that we are all here to listen to the two.